Everyone thinks being a dentist is a gold mine. They make a ton of cash, have their own practice, flexible hours, patients say thank you and walk away with a Hollywood smile. I thought the same back in school. Maybe I'll go into medicine. Cleaning teeth sounds easier than coding or hauling freight. It seemed like the perfect balance between a doctor's prestige and solid earnings, without the night shifts and that morgue smell. Help! The picture from the ads, a pristine white coat, a sterile office, happy people, and you, a wizard turning pain grimaces into radiant smiles. In reality, first you study for 1,000,000 years and sink 300, 400K into debt. It's like buying a mansion, but instead of a cool house, you get a chair, a lamp, and a bunch of gear that looks like medieval torture instruments. You train on phantom jaws that are eerily similar to Halloween props, and then on cadavers, because it's better to make a mistake on the dead than on the living. You finally become a dentist, open your practice, and the first patient says, "Doc, nothing hurts, I just want my teeth whitened to the color of a toilet bowl." And you slave away polishing their tusks for hours, only for them to complain later that they're too white like a Twilight vampire. I remember a friend from school who dreamed of becoming a dentist. He'd say, "I'll be rich, I'll give people smiles." A couple of years later after college, he changed his mind precisely because of that debt, saying, "Bro, I'd rather go into IT. At least you don't need 8 years of school just to work 12-hour days afterwards. Over there, you sit as a sysadmin, sip coffee, servers blink, and no one calls you for an emergency because a filled tooth suddenly aches after eating caramel. There, you can pay off a mortgage by 30, not just start paying one off for your education." American insurance is a total comedy. A patient comes in with a plan that only covers one cleaning a year, and everything else is out of pocket. You do a filling for $500, and insurance pays $50. The patient yells, "Why so expensive?" You smile, "Because I studied longer than you browse Netflix." And in your head, you're telling the cost of composite material, burrware, the assistant's work, rent, and the fact that this filling is supposed to last 5 years, not fall out in a month. And if the patient's uninsured? Total disaster. They look at the bill as if it's a death sentence and vanish, leaving you with an unpaid x-ray. The schedule seems flexible, but in reality, you're stuck in the office from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. because you have to cover the rent and equipment. Patients show up half an hour late, then whine about having to wait. They get stuck in traffic and your whole day shifts because of it. And the last patient who waited 2 weeks for an appointment will be pissed they were seen 30 minutes late. And in the chair? Pure horror. One is so scared of the drill, they sweat and shake. Another opens their mouth. It's an apocalyptic scene, and you think, bro, when was the last time you saw a toothbrush? Or more likely, have you ever seen one in real life? Long story short, being a dentist is like being an artist, only your canvas is someone else's mouth, and your paint is saliva and screams. And they critique your work not at a gallery opening with a glass of wine, but immediately, right out the door, through a numb cheek demanding, "Put it back how it was." Let's keep rolling, it gets even funnier. Patients are the main trash generator. Have come in panicking, "Doc, my tooth has been hurting for a week." You look, there's a crater-sized hole. "Why didn't you come sooner?" "I was scared." And in that "I was scared" lies the whole essence of human psychology. The other type is the hypochondriac. "My gum is slightly red. It's definitely cancer." You explain it's from a hard bristle brush, and they say, "No, I read it on Google." Then there are the classic Karens. They demand a perfect smile for pennies, veneers like the stars, but at McDonald's prices. They bring a photo of an Instagram blogger with perfect teeth, not understanding that it's the result of an orthodontist, prosthodontist, and cosmetologist's work, not one 20-minute procedure. They think you just glue stickers on teeth, like in a kid's set. Don't give a discount? Get a bad Yelp review. "Greedy dentist didn't even whiten my teeth to bright white." And then there are those who flinch in the chair, bite your finger, or suddenly jump up, "Stop, I changed my mind!" And you stand there in your mask covered in spit thinking, why didn't I become an orthopedist? At least bones don't scream. Or better yet, a pathologist. Peace, quiet, not a single patient complains about the price. Plus, patients cancel at the last minute. You sit in an empty office losing dough and they're like, "Oops, forgot." Or they text 5 minutes before the appointment, "Sorry, the weather's bad," or "My dog is sad," or "Not in the mood." Burnout hits fast. Staring into mouths all day, smelling breath, listening to whining, the monotony of procedures, the steady hum of the turbine, the same set of complaints. You become a cynic. You see a person and automatically assess their bite and enamel condition. You go on a date and notice your companion has gum recession. It's not a profession anymore, it's a diagnosis. Many dentists joke, I see more open mouths than an adult film star. And your take-home pay after all the expenses, rent, equipment, assistance, malpractice insurance, isn't as fat as you'd think. Compare that to a regular doctor. They're heroes, and you're just the tooth guy. They don't thank you for saving a life. They roast you for an expensive filling. Now about your body. Dentists wreck their health like champions. Hunched over patients all day, your neck, back, shoulders, everything aches. Joints problems start. The risks are real too. Patients cough, sneeze right in your face. Saliva flies everywhere. Or just a mentally unstable person who decided you're implanting chips. Plus x-rays, radiation every day. Sure, the doses are tiny and with protection, but when you do it day in, day out for years, the thought quietly eats at you from the inside. Malpractice suits. Not as common as for regular doctors, but they happen. You place a crown, it falls off in a month, the patient sues, "Give me my money back and pay for my pain." And you know there were cracking nuts and opening bottles with it, but you can't prove it. You have to settle, wasting time, nerves, and lawyer fees. The insurance for that is quite expensive. Competition is brutal. Dental offices pop up in every neighborhood, like mushrooms after rain. Everyone fights for patients with ads, discounts, free cleaning on your first visit. You have to be not just a doctor, but also a marketer, SMM manager, and the face of your brand. You need to run an Instagram with cute before-after pics, give advice, smile in photos, even if your back hurts and you hate the whole world. It's tough for new dentists. Either work for a corporate DSO for percentage or go deep in debt for their own practice. And patients choose based on reviews and price, not quality. They don't give a shit what kind of microscope you have or what brand of implants do you use. They want it cheap and painless. And if there's free coffee in the lobby, perfect. Your personal life suffers. You're around people all day, so you have zero energy at night. You're so saturated with interaction that at home you just want silence and solitude. But your family demands attention. It's a vicious cycle. Many dentists say, "I love my job," when I'm on vacation. And that's not a joke. Only far from the chair and the drill does the desire to be just a person, not a doctor, return to you. You also have to keep learning constantly. New materials, implants, lasers, everything changes. Courses, certificates, or you fall behind and patients leave for the modern colleague. So, your body, the risks, and competition turn the job into an obstacle course marathon, where the finish line is early retirement with your own set of crowns. And yes, the irony is that you, who fix thousands of people's teeth, are walking around with a couple of your own crowns by 50. Now, about the dough. Yes, dentists earn well, often more than regular doctors, especially with their own practice. But minus the student debt, minus the equipment, one chair costs a car, minus rent in a good location, minus assistance, and what's left isn't astronomical. Social status is weird. Everyone's scared of dentists, cracks jokes about them, but respects the money. "Oh, you're a dentist. Cool. Rolling in it." But in reality, patients whine about prices, compare you to Mexico, where it's 10 times cheaper, and they suggest maybe do it without anesthesia to make it cheaper. Or, "I have some super glue, doc. Maybe we can glue it at home." But alright, let's be real. Dentists are true heroes. They save us from pain, gift us beautiful smiles, tolerate our fears and whining every day. A world without dentists would be full of crooked smiles, weird breath, and constant pain. If you're a dentist, huge respect. You're actually awesome. You get up in the morning, put on that coat, and go back into battle against decay, fear, and ignorance. If you're a patient, don't be scared. Brush regularly and don't put off your visit. And remember, your dentist might be tired, but they'll still do everything to make you feel better. Meet them at least with punctuality and gratitude. Huge thanks to everyone who digs around in our mouths. You're actually the best. Well, folks, subscribe, smash that like button, comment what profession we should tackle next. A surgeon, a teacher, or maybe an IT guy so we can break them down a bit too. Peace out. Hugs to all. Your man Brayden and the red hoodie forever.